A few weeks ago, I released my review of the Cooler Master Quickfire XT, which you can check out right here. And with that review, I was impressed on the portability and travel readiness of the Quickfire XT. And while I was indeed impressed, the recently released Masterkeys Pro S has stolen my affection for a diminutive and simply built mechanical keyboard. Now let's take a closer look. The Masterkeys Pro S is one of the two recently launched RGB mechanical keyboards released by Cooler Master. The Pro L comes in as a full-size keyboard, but the Pro S is its 10 keyless brother. But the impressive things about the keyboard don't necessarily come in its size, but rather what Cooler Master was able to pack into such an unassuming external package. Not only is there a pleasant Cherry MX mechanical key switch experience available in the blue, red, or brown varieties, with my board coming with the brown switch, but each switch also comes with a 16.7 million color RGB LED. And while I don't quite believe Cooler Master's claim of the brightest LEDs, they are plenty bright and evenly lit and have some of the best color reproduction I've seen yet on an RGB peripheral. So great, it's an RGB mechanical keyboard. What's so cool about that? Well, my fascination with the keyboard comes in how the RGB lights and its other features are implemented. Instead of having to rely on software in order to get the varied RGB effects and displays on the keys, Cooler Master has implemented all of this into the function keys. You're able to adjust the various modes as well as the coloring of the keys with a couple of button presses. And while the actual adjustment of the keys requires a bit of trial and error to get everything working the way you want it, the implementation of this feature makes sure that people who hate installing software can also take advantage of the full functionality of the keyboard. While that may not be a truly groundbreaking feature, it simply adds to the portability of this peripheral. Not only can you bring it on trips easily thanks to its small physical size, but you can also make it your own on any computer without fussing with downloading software repeatedly. But before we get into the actual software that is for the keyboard, let's go over the rest of the features that come with the Masterkeys Pro S. In addition to being able to adjust the lighting styles and displays, there's also a repeat rate multiplier, Windows lock key, LED recording button, but also macro implementations and even various profiles you can enable to go along with the macros and lighting schemes. Cooler Master is able to achieve all this computational variety on the keyboard because they've implemented a 72 MHz Cortex M3 processor, which they claim is 25% faster than standard keyboards running the Cortex M0. I'll have to take their word for it on this one since I haven't quite gotten into the niche realm of benchmarking peripheral microprocessors. Besides the functionality and lighting, the Masterkeys Pro S has a matte plastic design with a sturdy build quality, height adjustable stands, rubber pads on the bottom to help keep the keyboard in place, and a braided 1.5 meter micro USB cable which comes in a right angle form factor. It also happens that Cooler Master has replaced the Windows keycap with a Cooler Master logo, which I can't tell if it is an attempt to subtly develop people's brand recognition or an attempt at a pun, since opening windows are a good way of cooling down your house. I'll let you decide that one. Then finally, Cooler Master includes a simple but functional keycap holder that's just two pieces of bent wire attached to a plastic handle. Simple, no frills, no USB pass-through, no wrist rest, no numpad. Just an uncomplicated keyboard decked out with lots of functionality. Now getting back to the software, I was a bit disappointed with the fact that there's two different applications for the Masterkeys Pro L and Pro S. I would have hoped that I wouldn't have to pay attention to what type of Masterkeys software I'm downloading for, but alas, they're different pieces of software. Nothing I can do about that. Regardless, just like the Pro S itself, the software is simple. There's the ability to adjust each of the varied lighting effects in each individual color, and the portion to save each effect to various profiles. There's the typical assortment of singular color, color wave, breathing, raindrops, and a few different types of reactive typing. Moreover, there's an enjoyable snake minigame built in as well. While it's a bit awkward to play since the keys aren't directly perpendicular to one another, it was still a decent way to pass a few minutes. I was a bit disappointed to the multi-layer effect on the software, which is supposed to allow you to stack various effects on top of each other. And I didn't test out all of the different possibilities, but when I attempted to set up a reactive light effect with a color wave set, the software was only able to put through one or the other, unlike some of the Corsair keyboards that I've tested. Regardless of that particular deficiency in the software, the Masterkeys Pro S is basically the entire package for a travel mechanical keyboard. It's small, lightweight, sturdily constructed, and has RGB LEDs that can be adjusted without software. There's little more that you could want than what the Pro S provides. And while I couldn't find any pricing on the Pro S model of the Masterkeys here in South Africa, the Pro L gives a pretty good indication that while the Pro S is small in size, the price will not be so. The US pricing on the Pro S is $140, which is reasonable when you compare it to similar keyboards on the market that also offer RGB lighting, but the Pro S adds a lot of value with its well-designed use of its function keys. I'm thoroughly impressed with this keyboard, and while I desire more physical knobs and buttons and inputs for something that will stay on my desk, the Pro S is perfect for someone who wants a small footprint keyboard or wants a superb travel mechanical keyboard. And with that conclusion, I want to thank Cooler Master South Africa for sending the Masterkeys Pro S over for review. Like this video if you found it helpful, dislike it if you thought it was poo. You can subscribe to stay up to date on all of my tech related content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.